Hello, seniors. Mr. G, obviously, do this lesson video style for several reasons. One, every class, every period gets the same information. I don't leave things out certain periods. I can be forgetful. Two, it's great for people who are absent. Three, I can double myself, meaning I can let it play, go around and help students individually without slowing down for the whole class if somebody just has an issue with like logging on or something. And also it's just you can go back and review it as well. So one more word on the bell ringer. We probably discussed it live. Failure is a great teacher, and it's very important that we not be afraid to fail because we learn so much more from failure, especially when we're experimenting, we're researching, we're searching, we're trying new things. Failure is often a good thing, and it's okay to sometimes not know the answer right away. And that failure will often result in greater success later on. And I bring this up because you may see me failing some in this because I've never done this project this way. It's not a huge project, but it's a pretty big project. We'll be doing it for several weeks. It is challenging, but the seniors last year, almost everybody got through it. And I think those who did ended up enjoying it really because it's researching and finding out more about something you really care and are passionate about. So our 3 goals for today, and I'm going to try to get through this in 15 minutes. There we go. Sorry to figure out how to click. 3 goals we want to do today. Define what a multi-genre research project is. That's the project of which I was talking about. 2, select a topic for that project. And right now you're not going to select your individual topic. We're going to practice this whole project together as a class. Not exactly the way, but go through the steps, do some of the processes that you'll have to do. So when you have to do it for your own individual project, you already have some practice at it. So today we want to select a topic. Then 2, conduct preliminary research to confirm that there's enough information on that topic. Excuse me, it'll be a good topic. So first, let's define what is a multi-genre research project. So on the sheet of printer paper that I told you to grab, or if I didn't, tell me to pause this and everybody grab. You should have 2 sheets of printer paper. Okay. On the one, you're going to take notes. The other one, just put to the side. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do with that in a second. So on your first sheet of printer paper, write your name and put a number 1 and write what is a multi-genre research project. And if you haven't started writing, write this. Instead of a long paper, a paragraph after paragraph, a multi-genre research project presents research in a series of different types of writing, which we talked about genre first quarter when we were writing our personal essay. Genres we often use as big types of writing or movies like sci-fi, romance, western, but it's also the actual type of writing, like a business letter, a cover letter, a resume, a poem, a recipe. All those are different genres of writing. And again, this new collaborating step by step is new. So again, we might fail, but that's okay. Before we move on to kind of the first step in doing this multi-genre research project, I want to show you some examples. So this example here, loading. This one is based not really on a social issue or a current event, but on a novel called Native Son by Richard Wright. And you can see the student starts off with a letter to the reader, dear reader. And these are how these projects start off, kind of a letter to the reader explaining what they're going to see, what they're going to read, and what it's like. And I'm going to go to do this somewhat quickly, but I just want you to get the feel of it. And you can see there's a lot of images in here. Again, it's not just like a 10-page research paper, a 5-page research paper. It's shorter, it's much more visual, and has all these different types of writing fused together. And they also have a thing called you don't even have to know what the name of it right now, but a series of images or words or ideas that link it together. So he starts off with fear. Okay. Then he starts with his first genre, which is a wanted poster. So you have the Dear Reader letter, but then what comes next is not your introduction or another body paragraph or anything like that, but he's presenting information from his research in a different genre. In this case, he has the main character, and he's telling his reader about it in the form of a wanted poster. And then he provides an historical snapshot. A conversation. So this is almost like a dialogue in a play. And again, he's giving information that tells us about his topic. Instead of paragraphs, it's a conversation. And then he has kind of a visual image here and a poem over top. Hi, Rat. And then an eye chart, doctor's notes. Again, these are unusual forms of writing to include in an essay, but it's much more creative. Okay, so now he has another section. He had fear, now we have flight, and now he has a newspaper. And again, this is not a real newspaper article. This is something from the book that he's including. He created a board game as part of his project. So again, not paragraph after paragraph. He's actually, being creative, creating the actual rules to a game. But within this is information about the book and his analysis of the book. Again, more than a dictionary entry, more dialogue. Another historical snapshot. Then we get to fate. Another poem involving the characters. Again, I'm not going to go over this, but you get the idea. A confession. This last part here, then he has, an acrostic where each letter begins a word. And of course, these here too, not only is it an acrostic, they are definitions and part of speech, just like in a dictionary. Then at the end, he has a works cited page. So again, all his citations, all the sources he used, just like in a traditional research paper. So that is one example of a multi-genre research project. Another one I'm going to show you. This one I'll go through a little more quickly, but I just want you to see that West High students do this. This is Bobby Williams, if you know him. He graduated last year. Oops, I wish I could scroll through this more quickly. But Bobby's topic was, what factors lead to people believing that aliens help to progress humanity as a whole? So again, he has his dear readers, talking about what we're going to read. Then he lays out some ancient civilizations he's talking about. He was interested in this, so the Egyptian pyramids, Stonehenge. Of course, these are like these big monuments that it seems humans maybe couldn't have built, but were built by aliens. So you see, it doesn't have to be a big, serious topic either. Bobby kind of took a more humorous approach to it, talking about the flying spaghetti monster. Then he made a playlist, so you have songs. Again, these are not real songs. He made them up, and they're about, his topic. Top 10 list, an interview with an alien, some haikus. And again, the endnotes here explain what each of his genres were. And then he has his works cited page. And you will notice in the works cited page, they're not just hyperlinks, but they are full citations, and we'll talk about what those are a little bit. This is another one created by Thomas Todd. Big into Pokemon. And here he just has a lot. Very creative, a lot of images. He goes through and there's his dear reader. Talks about his process. Then he has a lot of... So he used a frequently asked question as one of his genres. You see those on websites all the time. He includes fun facts as a way to connect everything. A recipe. Okay, and it's not really a recipe about food, but about whatever create that Pokemon character. Top 3 list, details and information about each of the characters. A little note how to tell if a Pokemon is strong. And just all kinds of really creative things. A timeline. So all these different types of writing, which you wouldn't necessarily expect to find in a research paper, are included in a multi-genre research paper. Okay, and those are some good examples, I think, that kind of show us what those look like. So, to move on, the first step, okay, there are several steps, possibly up to 10. I'm not sure if we're going to include all 10 yet, but up to 10 steps in writing one of these projects. And the first thing we have to do is choose a topic, okay? Now, I'm not going to assign a topic to you. I'm not going to say, okay, you have to research the best college to go to or anything like that. You want to pick a topic that is, one, is it interesting to you? extremely important. We're going to be doing this for several weeks. It should be something you are really interested, really passionate about. Okay? It doesn't even have to be really school related. Okay, it's something you really are curious about and have a question about. So as it says here, you should be excited about conducting the research, and you should think of yourself as an explorer uncovering new information on a subject for which you have a passion and a curiosity, something you really want to know more about. Okay, so also on that sheet of printer paper, 1, you should have what is a multi-genre research paper. 2, then I want you to write that step 1 is to choose a topic, and I want you to just write a note that it should be something that you are really passionate and curious about. Not something just like, I guess I'll, research this. You want to be extremely passionate about it. And then before you really dive in and start, say, this is my topic, I've chosen it, I'm going to stick with it, you do a little preliminary research and you figure out, is there sufficient information on this topic? Okay, so if it's really, obscure on the DL, and there's not information, especially information that you would find by doing library research. We're not talking about doing, some kind of weird Illuminati chat room type stuff, but really real credible sources. Okay. So what we're going to do now is, hopefully this will be fun. We are going to choose some topics. Okay, we're going to try to choose a topic that the whole class can agree upon. Okay, we probably won't get a consensus, meaning we're not going to get 100% people picking, so we're going to go with the majority. But I'm going to have everybody kind of select a topic, suggest it to us, and then we'll kind of vote and choose on one. Okay? So when choosing a topic, if you click on this website here, and I don't believe I put this on Google Classroom, but I probably should have. But if you need to after we do this, I don't think you necessarily need to go to it, but I can put the link up there. This just tells us about what we should do when we're picking a research topic. Okay, so the field of your interest, again, just be something you're interested in. Okay, the topic should be clear, precise, and specific. It should not just be too broad. You can't just say my topic is climate change. Way too big. You got to narrow it down. We'll talk about that more in a second. Be innovative. Be something different. If there's already books and books and books on this, why do more research on it? We should be bringing something new to the table. Here's some ideas for research papers listed here. Here's some argumentative research paper topics. Are athletes good role models? Is the minimum wage too high? Homelessness, who is to blame? Okay, so you can kind of look at that. So maybe, and it does not have to be argumentative, it could be more just informational, but if you want to kind of have a little bit of a, argument, a debate in there, you might do something like that. It could be more persuasive. Using animals to conduct research and experiments is wrong. Parents should monitor the websites their children visit. Domestic gender violence is on the rise. Children's exposure to media. Do parental controls work? Okay? Things like that where you already have an idea in mind of what you want to persuade other people to do. So your research is going to help you persuade them. Controversial topics are always good for research papers. Gay partners and child adoption, surrogate mothers and societal worldview, violence in media, STEM subjects in school should be mandatory. Sex education in middle school. Should homework be abolished? So these are all topics. They're not formed into questions or thesis yet, but those are possible topics you could use. Okay. We also have the best paper topics in 2019 listed. I'm going to leave these up here for a second if you want to look at them, get an idea. But again, your topic doesn't have to be anything like this, because again, it should be something that you are supremely interested in, passionate about. So it could be, what theory is most widely accepted as to who shot Tupac? That could be one. Why do mumble rappers rule the airwaves now? Whatever it might be. It can be about music. It can be about art, health, life, your future. What is the best career to, go into? What is the, largest cause of children being separated from their parents when they're crossing the border into the United States? Whatever the case might be, okay? But something you are really, really interested in, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause this, probably stop the video at this point for up to here, and what we are going to do, is, as it says back here, a snowball fight. Okay, so